Guten Morgen. Auf the day in Heckian. So apparently this is a horror game, but I'm like, it looks more like a visual novel-esque type thing, but I'm assuming it's horror for normal people. But anyway, Silver Creek Falls, Chapter 1. You see stuff popping up, don't worry. You know, like this, don't worry about it. The game is giving me problems. I hope I'm in the right corner. I'm assuming, you know, visual novel-esque, there'll be a lot of text at the bottom. I also ordered myself lunch because I'm starving. Okay, audio looks good. Captain Pendleton, Detective Sarah Fitzgerald reporting for duty. All right, we're cops. You're the transfer from Boston, right? Pleasure to meet you, Detective. This will be your new partner, Inspector Philip Moore. Pleasure to meet you, Detective. Hey, how you doing? Inspector Moore also comes to us as a transfer all the way from England. You're with Scotland Yard, am I correct? Yes, sir. Excellent. I think both of you will make an excellent team. With extensive experience in homicide and missing persons between you, I think this new case will be right up your alley. Okay, so somebody's missing or dead. Cool, what's happening? Speaking of cases, that one case that I worked on about in Utah, about the baby and the canyon, it's in the news, so I can, like, super more talk about it. But I'm like, that's kind of sad and depressing, you know? I'm like, yeah, my work is sad and depressing. This is why we play these games. Because life is sad and depressing! Anyway. They need some detectives to help solve a case that's baffling the local sheriff. Silver Creek Falls, I've never heard of it. Where is it? Well, not really too surprising. It's a small town in Hawthorne County, North Carolina. North Carolina, shouldn't they send someone from Durham or Charlotte? Norfolk is actually closer, would you believe? Also, how could I deny them a Massachusetts state trooper and an inspector from Scotland Yard? Of course. So what are the details of the case? I think it's best you let the local sheriff explain it to you. Now, you'll be heading over tonight and staying in a few nights to solve this case. All this courtesy of Hawthorne County. Must be quite a sticky case, eh? It is. The local sheriff is quite a famed lawman, so when he put in a request to the High Commissioner, the Commissioner insisted I give them someone good. We won't let you down, Captain. You two can go home, pack your bags, drive over to Silver Creek Falls tonight. The local deputy will receive you at the local hotel and see y'all get settled in. Meet him at the Silver Creek Falls. We're on it, Captain. Sarah? Yes? Do you mind driving us there? I still haven't gotten used to driving on the other side of the road. Oh. Sure, we'll take my car. 4 hours later. Arrow keys, movement, space, select, escape inventory. Pay attention to all the clues and information you find in every place you visit. Look at your inventory if you need to review things. This game is a mystery and adventure. Details from investigations and story are essential, so always pay attention. So no distractions. Alright, no distractions. Hello? Oh, I was using Wasada. Guess I just go inside. We are so cute looking. He's giving me, like, Leon vibes, and I like it. Find Deputy Hill in the hotel lobby. Perfect! I'm already heading there. Assuming. Yep. Hello, Deputy. Deputy Hill? Yep, you two must be the extra muscle we requested from Norfolk. Pleasure to meet you. Yep, we are. Yes. I'm Detective Sarah Fitzgerald, and this is Inspector Philip Moore. It's a pleasure, mate. Well, boy, am I glad you two are here. Some really strange things have been happening here. Captain hasn't told us anything either. What's going on? You folk have had a long drive over. I'm sure you're tired and want to get some good sleep. I'll tell you about it tomorrow. Get some good sleep tonight whilst you can. I promise you after you see the file. I promise you after you see the file. You won't be able to. I know I sure as hell can't. Okay, then. I just came to welcome you to Silver Creek Falls and to make sure you were fine. Just mosey on over to the concierge over there and she'll give you your keys to your rooms. Shall I meet you here at the lobby tomorrow morning, let's say 8 a.m.? Perfect. See you then, Deputy. Bye-bye. Where's our lovely concierge? Hello? Told me he's checked us in already? Yes, here are your room keys. It's the room most to the left. Thanks, I'll have a drink before I sleep. How about you? I'm tired from the drive. I think I'll head up. Sorry I made you drive all the way. I still haven't learned how to drive in the other side of the road yet. Just turn the wheel a little. Let's go to bed. Room on the most left side. Night-night? Day 2. Wait, where's his room? She only told me my room. Hello? Good morning. I hope you slept well, like a baby. That tea for me? Sarah makes herself coffee. Oh, funny enough, the coffee stain is still there. And it's what? Day 4? Possibly longer, because I only discovered it on Sunday. And that's when I came home. So, day 4 plus. Where's my buddy? Is it 8 a.m.? Maybe it's not 8 a.m. Maybe he's on the complete opposite side. Can't find my partner. And the deputy is not in the lobby at 8 a.m. like he said he would be. He'd be outside. I should find Philip. How did I lose a teammate already? Oh, there. Oh my god, you guys are in the corner. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I want to talk to you guys before we go out and look at the 3 crime scenes. Deputy, we've seen crime scenes before. We know what we're doing. Not like this, I promise you. I may be a small town deputy, but I can promise you now that you've never seen anything like this. Okay, bring it on. Before we start, where is the sheriff? Well, I don't know exactly. What? After he put in the request for Season's homicide and missing persons detectives, he went missing. Does Captain Pendleton know about this? Sorry, my brain thought of the Peloton, the little exercise bike, and I just imagined the sheriff on it. Pendleton. Nope. What the hell? Sarah, please calm down. Deputy, let me guess. It wasn't the sheriff who put in the request, right? No, sir. It was you, right? Yes, sir. You've got a lot of explaining to do, buddy. This kind of stunt can get you suspended, you know? Sarah, please. Getting angry won't get us anywhere. Young man, explain yourself. Why is Sarah upset? Is it because she's American? Or are they just being like women? With the sheriff gone, what choice did I have? I've only been in the force for 3 months. I thought this job was going to be easy. Oh. That's why I took the job in this dead-end town. Suddenly people are going missing, left, right, etc. You'd seen the things I'd seen, man. Oh. Relax, kid. What's your name? Mike. Immediately. You're no longer deputy or in charge. You're a kid. It's okay, Mike. I know you weren't expecting to see things like this, but you're the sheriff now. You're in charge of this town. Now, why did you use the sheriff's name to request reinforcements? Because if I had used mine, no one would have listened. Sheriff Lee Davis was a respected lawman. He was even invited to the High Commissioner's birthday. And now he's missing. Look, I need your help to solve this case. I don't know what I'm doing. I came last in my class at the police academy. Only Sheriff Davis was kind enough to take me. You've been to his house since he disappeared? No. Oh my god. Sarah, be nice. How long has he been gone? 2 days? That's it, kid. I think it's time for an ass kicking. Sarah, control yourself. God, I feel like I'm in The Departed. Well, Mary Poppins, here in America, we don't solve all our problems with a spoonful of sugar to help the medicine go down. Can I please only talk to the British guy? Sarah, please take a walk. You get coffee or something by the concierge. Go get some coffee, Sarah, with sugar to help you sweeten your mood, perhaps. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. That's how we're playing this. Make yourself coffee. Hope you slept well. I did. I've made myself coffee. Hold on. Items? Nope. I thought maybe I had to drink it or something. Ooh. We should save, just in case the game crashes. You guys done? Yep, I'll fill you in later. Okay, show us the crime scene. My car is parked outside, shall we? Sure. Here's a map of our town in case you feel like walking around later. Use the button A to activate the map. Let's do the scenes in chronological order. The first is a house on Fisher Road, close to the end of Washington Avenue. Okay. Or are we... We're not walking, right? We're taking a car? Like a sensible person? Says the person who doesn't own a car. Or license. Vroom. Oh, these are holes in the floor. This looks like a slaughterhouse. I'll give it to you, Deputy. This is one of the worst crime scenes I've ever seen. So what can you tell me about the people that lived here? This is the house for the sorority Phi Kappa Beta. It was quite a popular sorority in the local college. How is a sorority popular? This man doesn't know. I'll rephrase. It was the sorority for the popular girls. All the girls that lived here were doing modeling work. Oh wow, starting to look like we have a motive. Have you... Huh? We haven't really done any forensics as we don't have that capability. There is no forced entry. It could be a possibility, but the sheriff thought it unlikely. So how many girls lived here? 4 girls lived here, but 5 disappeared. We tried to confirm this with blood samples, but we didn't really have the tech here for it. Besides, it's all mixed. A 5th one disappeared too? Yeah, she was also a member of the sorority, but didn't live in. Neighbors reported hearing loud singing and chanting on the night they disappeared. It freaked them out, so they called the sheriff, and I'd asked them to quiet down. When we got there, we found everything the way you see it now. The sheriff and I took photos and some small samples, but everything is more or less the way we found it 3 days ago. Okay, we'll take a look around, get some blood samples, and search for evidence. Empty little chat box. Okay. Blood sample added to inventory. How many blood samples am I gonna add? Okay, grab them all, I guess. You know, gotta confirm if the 5th person is dead or alive. Oh. Yep, Pixel Games. Blood sample added. What is this? Oh my goodness, what is it? It's a Ouija board. Stupid kids shouldn't mess with things they don't understand. Ouija board added to inventory. Let's see, is this clues? Evidence? Bullet holes. Any bullets inside? Some fragments. Shell casings. Okay, Ouija board, we got... God, I'm gonna make sure there's nothing here. It smells horrible. This hole in the floor is enormous. I wonder if this was here before this all happened. Yeah, it's weird. Grab all the blood samples. Blood sample. Blood sample. Blood sample. Blood sample. You think these big holes may have something to do with this? Maybe this house does look pretty old. If someone or something made a hole that big, I don't want to meet them. How many samples do I have so far? 16! Oh boy. Alright. A letter? A note of sorts. Yeah, read it. They laugh, they sing, they dance, but with who? There were 6 in this party, not 5. Sample. 6, not 5. Okay, what about this couch? Spells, incantations, and divinations summoning spirits. A book on witchcraft. What are these kids trying to do? Spellbook added to inventory. I think we have a good rough estimate as to what went down. But it's not just your typical corpse smell. Yeah, it's a very strange smell. There's definitely some pneumonia around. Not just pneumonia, a burnt hair smell. This place is really creepy. Burnt hair. Oh, are those teeth? Might be teeth on the floor. Oh, some hair. I wonder if they had a pet or something. Animal hairs. Thought it was teeth. My bad. Sorority file added to inventory. Ooh, sorority file. Hold on. Oh, I can't read sorority file. Shoot. Alright. Okay. I feel like that's everything, but maybe it's not. Yeah? Yeah, okay, bye. Off we go. Where did he take us? Hello. Okay, why were we taken to this park? Creek is gorgeous. I'm surprised I've never heard of it before. Oh, that's probably because they changed its name recently. It used to be called Nawadi Amaya. Sounds foreign. What language is that? Cherokee. These lands used to belong to a Cherokee tribe, but they sold it off years back. They sold it? Sold? When? Oh, this was long ago. The town founder, Jebediah Schwartz, bought most of their land to create this town. How much did he pay? Let me guess. He swapped it all for a few shiny beads and a mirror, right? Not quite. He paid them 50 stallions and 130 rifles. He didn't buy all their land either, just the land between the west of the creek and the mountain. A bit better, I guess. But still, that's a pretty sweet deal he got for himself. They owned the rest till about 20 years ago, when it was then bought out by some venture capitalists. A famous North Carolina banking family, actually. What did they end up doing with it? Nothing at the end. They sent a crew of engineers over to look at the land, as they wanted to build some high-end apartments here. They never got around to building it and just declared it a nature reserve around 10 years ago. Interesting story. The fudge was that? Oi! Oi! How did you just discharge your weapon? What was that for? Sorry for shooting without warning you two. I saw something stalking us in the woods like a wolf or something. Haven't been wolves in these parts for a while now. I couldn't be so sure. Anyway, bring us to the next scene. What? What? Doesn't the UK have, like, very strict, like, you know, gun laws? That's why usually you see cops with, like, batons and stuff in their, like, little crime shows. What? I'd like to show you another crime scene first? I'd like to show you the crime scene before first. Is there a crime scene out here? Let's keep walking. Oh my god, there is. What can you tell us about this case, Deputy? We got a call early the morning after the incident at the sorority. Hunters found tons of blood, broken branches, holes in the ground, and the soil all messed up. The sheriff and I took photos but left the site alone. Okay. Should we get to work collecting evidence? Alright. Evidence away. Hair is very soft and light, not human. Looks like it might come from a wolf or something. Okay, wolves in these parts. Bears? Nope. Do people camp here? Now that it's become a national park? Yeah. Yeah, you have bears. I don't know. This one looks like it might be bears or maybe wolves. Animal hair edit. Alright, how much of this blood sample do I need to pick up? It's a lot of shell casings. Whoever fired these had the time to squeeze out a few. Question is, was it the assailant or was it the victim? Ooh, another letter. Another note. So I guess this rules out a bear-wolf attack? How do you know the note belongs to the assailant? Same type of paper as the note in the sorority house? Let's read it. He walked alone in the forest. To become one with nature, he got his wish. That's it. Not a lot of blood. Big old holes. Pneumonia and burnt hair. Yeah, same dialogue. Right, because I'm like, I don't think UK cop would just discharge his weapon so quickly. He's not American. Usually it's questions, then pew pew. I don't know. I don't know. Ooh. Tell us what happened here. At about 11 o'clock, same day as we got the report in the park, we got a call from a nearby farmer that he saw a car crash. Where's the farm? A bit less than a mile south of here. A mile away? How did he see the crash? His house is on that hill over there. Sorry, kid, but that farmer's telling you some tales. Pitch black night and the close to a mile away over forest ground. I'm sure he heard the crash. But no way in hell did he see it. Was he specific on details on the crash? No, he wasn't. Okay then, so what did you and the sheriff see here? We looked around to see if there was a body. When we found none, we decided to call it a night. We were supposed to come back the next morning, but the sheriff didn't report in that morning. Okay, but these letters that I'm finding, why didn't this supposed amazing sheriff find them? So you left this scene for 2 days. We put the cones and the berries up that night, so I don't think it was tampered. You don't think? Kid, the local wildlife are more likely to see those cones as a toilet than a barrier. This whole scene is contaminated. Sorry, I have to agree with her this time. It was pretty dumb leaving this alone this whole time. Anyway, let's look for evidence. Alright. Just grab all the blood. More shell casings. Looks like whoever's responsible fired at all his victims. This is the South, and we're out in the country. A lot of people carry guns around here. Good point. I wonder if it was the sheriff. Loosely sealed bottle of Merlot. There isn't much left. Impact from hitting the tree seems to have destroyed the engine. Front wheels and windshield also knackered. This guy must have been driving real fast. Bit of blood inside, but most of it seems to be outside the vehicle. So we can rule out the impact killing the driver. Any ID inside? A bunch of receipts on the floor. Don't match his persons. Ooh, a stolen vehicle. They slammed pretty hard in that tree and just threw us straight. Not even on a turn. They might have been driving fast to get away from something. You guys really think the 3 cases might not be related? Well, we do agree that 3 cases this gruesome in a span of 48 hours is highly unusual for a town like this. We should still account for the possibility that all 3 are separate, and it was pure coincidence that they happened so close to each other. Sheriff Davis seemed sure all 3 were related. Pity Sheriff Davis isn't here. Bloodstains, solo night. Another note. Why am I not surprised? Go on, read it. The young rush as if they lack time, but if you rush too much, you risk losing all your time. Anything else? No, it's everything. Away I go. Vroom vroom. So that's 3 scenes, right? Yep. It isn't all piecing together. Did Lee Davis keep any of his case files, notes, or photos in his office? Most of the time, but last I saw him, he wanted to take the stuff home to study it. I have a spare key if you want to see if he left the files in his house. I think we can learn more if we got access to his case files and notes. Let's go. Also, maybe see if the sheriff is there. Just from the sounds of it, he might be a slightly older gentleman. Maybe he fell and hurt himself. The famous man's home. I'm excited. I have a feeling we'll get a much better idea of what's going on when we find his case files. Learn as much as you can about Lee Davis. Find his case files. Got on the bedside. No, really pretty peaceful. These incidences are the first real serious thing to hit this town since the tornado 2 years ago. Tornado? Oh yeah, it was pretty bad. Some local businesses had to leave. Actually, the U.S. Army was looking to buy some land here before the tornado hit. Did they end up buying? Nah, the tornado dissuaded them pretty fast. Oh. Also, a lot of the land was in contentation. Apparently, the family that bought it was going through some legal problems. Yeah, apparently years back they bought it off that Cherokee tribe I told you earlier. Apparently they swindled them and gave them a rotten deal for it. U.S. Army didn't want to get involved and lost interest in the land. Yeah. Beautiful photo. The sheriff's into photography. He carried his SLR everywhere, even on duty. He would take photos of all sorts of things. Oh. It's good to have a hobby. Maybe it's secretly his, like, passion. All clean. Maybe he wanted to be a photographer and not a sheriff. But it just happened that way. It's a set of keys. There's no car parked outside, so I don't think those are car keys. Yeah, his car is gone. Those aren't his house keys either, as they don't look like the copy I have. Best we hang on to these. That's a lot of guns on the wall. Alright. Another note. Different handwriting this time. If you want to know the truth, John 6:34. That's from the Bible. Let's see if we can find one. The sheriff was a religious man, so I'm sure there's a Bible around here. He also has 3 computers. Open a file, all that comes up is nonsense for text. Must be encrypted. Can you still copy the files into your flash drive? Yeah, it doesn't stop me doing that. Very interesting. The man knows how to encrypt files and yet chooses to not lock them into his computer. Are you implying that he did that on purpose? Most likely. He didn't put up a password for the computer itself, as if he knew someone else would use it. Copy the file anyway. We can probably find the keyword that deciphers the code later. I Selecting a rush. This guy was packing heat. IMI Desert Eagle, Beretta M9, Remington 870 shotgun, all reliable classics. Wow, you know your guns. I'm in America. I have to. Award of Excellence and Merit for Sheriff Lee Davis for excellence in law enforcement. Let's find this book. Literature, loves to read. Photos from Antarctica. Hollywood photography. U.S. Army Rangers survival guide. Up, there's a Bible. Yes. Sir, they said, from now on, give us this bread. I like bread. I wonder what that could mean. Most likely something to do with the keys, since he obviously left those for someone to find. Oh yeah, the sheriff has a storage unit somewhere. This might be the clue as to where. Bread? Maybe it's next to a bakery? Where do you think Lee Davis's storage unit is? Baker Lane! Honestly, that's great. That's not... It's perfect. It works out perfectly. To Baker Lane. Why are there... Are you telling me this whole unit is his? Because there's just a bunch of guns on the wall. What's inside? Files and all the victims and some old cassettes. Sheriff Davis used to walk around with his voice recorder so he could record any ideas he had. We should give it a listen. Do you have a tape player in your car? Nah, man, this car is only a year old. No tape player. I have a player in my car. Let's go back to the hotel to check it out. Cool. I'll leave the blood samples and evidence at the police station. I'll drop you guys off first. We'll keep Lee Davis files if that's okay. Please do. Wait, so this gentleman carried around an SLR camera and a tape recorder. He was ready. He was very thorough. Sheriff. T. Phone directories. It's look a bit heavy. We can pass by later. Locked. Locked. Documents, but it's all in gibberish. Doesn't even look like a language. You need to know the cipher or keyword to unlock it. It's an old way of hiding sensitive information. Oh, well, hello, Lewis. Heck you. Stop it. But thank you. I try to be a fantastic human. This is like a comms game because it's like adventure mystery. People are being murdered. There's blood, but it's spooky. Oh, and I found out why the alerts weren't working. It's because there's a 10-minute cooldown between them to prevent trolls. I'm doing all right. I found out that that case I worked on in Utah is now in the news, so I can now more officially talk about it. Because work stuff. But I was like, oh, beautiful. And it's really weird, like, reading, you know, the parts where they're like, the cops served a bunch of warrants and, you know, da-da-da-da for information. And I was like, that's me. That's where I came in. So, fun and sad, because it's like, yay, I can talk about it. But it's like, oh, I can talk about it. You know, the joys of having a day job. But I'm doing good. I'm like trying to mentally prep for next month, and I'm just like, it's gonna be fine, we're gonna be great. Chancellor, if you're reading this, you're looking for something. Yes, I am. Guess that's it, so I guess we'll head back and... So I just realized that's like a picture of a hat. That's perfect. But I'm doing good. I hope your day is going well. Got more. Because I do know we're like less than 100 now away from 15, so I'm just like so close. As we go read over these documents, I'm eager to play Lee Davis's tape. Let's go back to my car first. Ah, my bad. Also, I downloaded that TwitchCon app and just like went through all the days and like just highlighted the events I want to go to.
There is something very strange afoot. This is something simply unnatural. In my time as a sheriff, I have never seen anything like this before. Every crime scene lathered in the blood of its victims, yet never a body to be found. Always that smell of ammonia present in every scene, even though all three scenes are in such different locations. Due to the amount of blood and damage present, am I to assume that a murder has taken place and the bodies disposed of perfectly? This seems a bit too simple an answer. I must investigate more. Furthermore, I find it highly disturbing that every confirmed victim has come from the same college nearby. There must be some correlation. I know it must be so. The girls in the sorority all knew each other, and the boy who was killed in the park was a boyfriend of one of these girls, and the last missing piece is finding out about the victim of the car accident. Now, I have checked the vehicle's registration, and apparently the car was reported stolen in Durham a few days ago. The owner is alive and well and seems unaffected by these problems, yet obviously distraught at the fate of his vehicle. I must find out the identity of the driver. The notes I'm finding in each scene are also very disturbing indeed, as if left on purpose as a signature by the killer. I am led to believe that the answer lies in finding the correlation between all the victims and seeing who would have a motivation to eliminate all of them. I am not safe. For the past few days I have felt a presence around. Someone watching. Someone or something. I do not know if it is human. When you are in a small town like this one, it is not hard to detect when something irregular has happened. If you are listening to this, I am assuming you are also a member of the police force, and I ask you to please see that justice be done. These youngsters had promising lives in front of them, and now their families are telling me they have disappeared. My heart tells me they are no longer in this world. The brutality of the attacks makes me think that perhaps it may have been an animal, or even supernatural. But the lack of evidence makes me think that perhaps it was from someone or something intelligent and experienced. I leave behind my notes for you in case something happens to me. Farewell.
Sorry. It's like we don't like to talk during the little talkie cutscenes. What does he mean, lack of evidence? Shell casings, blood samples, hair fibers. This is supposed to be a good old cop. But the link that I just put in is for that Sonic Expo thingy. I was like, it's the story, like it's the plot. You gotta listen, you gotta pay attention to it. But yeah, that link is about the what's it called? Sonic Amateur something Expo. Sonic Amateur Game Expo, where you can play a bunch of Sonic themed games online for free. Since you have a currently a Sonic obsession, thought I'd give you that. Right? It's like that's why you play most games. It's easy to assume that the three cases are all related. After all, this small town hasn't seen anything major in years. Yeah, but one could possibly claim that the attack in the national park was a wolf attack. Yeah, and the car accident really was caused by a drunk driver and the guy just left his car and wandered off somewhere. Doesn't sound quite right, does it? No, also those creepy notes. The one Lee Davis left us with his, that's for sure, but the ones at the crime scene, I don't know. You think it might have been Lee Davis? No, he was with Deputy at the time of the first crime. Also, I can't imagine such a decorated officer suddenly going on a murder spree. I've seen stranger things, but my gut instinct says it's not him. Besides, those tapes, he sounds really mystified and horrified by the cases. Did you get a quick look at the files? Very quick look. Did you notice that all the victims were under 24, all college students from the same university? Yeah, we need to investigate who of them knew each other, but first we should probably check out the evidence. Check it for fingerprints, etc. Yeah, check out those blood samples too. Isn't it insane that there are no signs of the bodies, all just huge blood splatters? They obviously have not read. What's it called? Black Mirror? Dark Mirror? It's a webcomic. It's about spoopy mirrors where they just make people go. They kind of just explode, and all that's left is just a big old pile of blood. We have our work cut out for us. As long as that amateur deputy stores all the evidence well, we should be able to crack this. You were pretty rough on him earlier. Come on, you know he deserved it. Chances are the trail's gone cold by now. Like I said, we got our work cut out for tomorrow. What did he tell you while I was getting coffee? Ooh. Except puzzle games, though I 95% keep my brain steaming and going. The other 5 is to frustrate myself. That's fair. That's fair. Though I will say, have you ever played The Room? That is an amazing puzzle game series. Not too frustrating, but like, it's good brain exercise. He wasn't eating or sleeping. Very strange. Anyway, I'm tired. We should crammed a lot in a day. We could have split this into 2 days, but the trail would have grown even colder. I'm off to bed. Cool. See you tomorrow. Off to bed I go. He's just gonna walk around. Probably read the notes. Sleepy, sleeps. Day 3. Yes. I just got a call from the captain. The deputy's body was found this morning. Oh! Deputy Hill is dead? Afraid so. Where was his body found? In the police station. We should investigate. The police station is on Apothecary Road. Let's investigate. How did he die? I'm gonna save. Just in case. Now, it definitely looks like the sheriff is committing the murders. It's all a little too suspicious. Who blocked the parking exit with their car? I guess we need to walk into town today. A stroll will do us good. I guess I can't just over a sidewalk. Alright, apothecary. Where is apothecary? There's Fisher, Baker, Taylor, Atlantic, Copper, Tinker, Washington, and Silver Creek Road. Weird. I just have to go up to Atlantic. Hello? Clear out. This is a restricted area. We're police officers. My name is Detective Sarah Fitzgerald. Hawthorne County Police requested my presence here. Your badge says Norfolk Police. Aren't you a bit far away from your jurisdiction? Aren't you listening? We were asked to come here. This is my jurisdiction. Not anymore. FBI is taking over this show now, so you can take it easy now, Detective. Thank you for your concern. Why would the FBI take over? Heard the deputy was killed. Yes, we're looking into it. You are relieved. I'm sorry, Detective, but I really need to ask you to leave now. We knew him! We should have the right to see him. Also, all the case evidence is in that building. We're taking over that as well. The minor cases like the car accident will pass to the Durham Police Force. You are relieved, madam? Don't talk to me like that. Like I'm a civilian. The cases are all related. Whoever killed the deputy also killed the college kids. That's for us to decide, Detective. Will you be leaving now, or do I need to have you escorted? Philip, you can't be buying into this. They're FBI and they outrank us. Let's go. I can't believe you. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. So where do we go from here? Maybe I can talk to these guys? Entire north part of the town is closed off? Afraid so. FBI business. I was about to say, I'm like, you guys didn't really do a good job. Move along. Interesting. Okay. They told me to leave. Do I just head back to the hotel and be like, oh no, what's going on? Or am I supposed to somehow try to sneak in? See how? Oh, shoot. I could, like, go in between the buildings. Sheriff Davis is away right now. I know. I was here yesterday investigating this house. Sorry, ma'am. Can't let you through. Orders from above. Whose orders? My boss. The special agent in charge. He's looking over the police station. I see. Do we just head home? Big old groan from Blondie. Guess we just head back to the hotel? Unless I take my car and drive it through the police barricade. Well, looks like that's us off the case. Phil, I can't believe you're giving up now. The FBI and the Durham police are here now. We're not even operating within our own state. Sorry, Sarah, but we have to leave. I'm going to talk to the captain and see if we can get special permission to reopen the case. I don't care if we have to get permission from DC. Good luck with that. I can't believe you, Phil. You know that whoever is responsible for all that is out there and you're just going to walk away? Of course I do. You think there wasn't this much politics when I was an inspector in England? It's the same thing. Shit happens, Sarah. You gotta trust the system. I'm not gonna let this slide, Phil. I know we haven't known each other that long, but I know you're a cop deep in your bones. We gotta find this guy. We will. It's just going rogue is the fastest way for us to lose our badges. You still have the case files and Lee Davis's photos and tapes, right? Good job. Let's show the captain everything and explain what happened. Right now, the FBI has everything locked up, so it's not like we can get any more evidence. I'm sure we can work out something special. I trust the captain. You're right. Sorry I shouted at you earlier. You're passionate and a cop deep at heart. It's a good thing. Let's head back to Norfolk now. This place gives me the creeps. Sure, let's get our bags. Meet you here in the lobby in 15. They billed me for consuming something from the hotel room fridge. I haven't even opened mine the whole time. Don't you hate it when that happens? I swear, if one of us gets murdered. Oop. Who's this person? Hello? Mark? Ah, you got here in time. For a second, I thought we missed each other. Mark! I flew over the second you called me, so you think it's them? I'm pretty sure. All the telltale signs. Sir Hamilton won't be happy. I thought we sorted this out years ago. What the fuck is happening now? Apparently not. Tell him we'll need the whole team back. It's way worse than before. Take a look around. So you extracting tonight? No, I'm returning to Norfolk tonight, and we'll go through the debrief with Sarah. You old softy. Don't spend too long there. I'll meet you in DC in a week. Yep, see you there. Oh, Sam? Yeah? Don't stay here too long. I know, I'll see you in DC, Mark. Is that where they end? Wow, okay. Suspense. Just a quick by the way, you're not actually Phil. You're Mark. And you apparently know who's causing the stuff. Cool. It's gonna be that short. But that's okay, because I have the other two already ready to go. So we'll let the credits roll and then we'll get those booted up. Ooh. Which if we time this right, maybe between chapter 2 and 3, eat my lunch. As I say, that's when the food's gonna be delivered. Stay tuned to solve the mystery. I'm gonna bet it's a cult, most likely. Based off the spoopy vibes. Be right back. 1 second.